Welcome back everyone for more Polar Night. Yup, it is Christmas, it is December, and in a snowy night like this, or morning, I don't know, it doesn't snow in the Philippines, so I don't know why I'm talking about snow. Welcome to Polar Night. If you're new, you're not subscribed, like, comment, share to your friends and loved ones. Let's get back to the game. I swallowed as a... Wait, what? They were fighting, correct me if I'm wrong, because Sharif over here was like, I don't want no cameras, no pictures. I want photos of Spider-Man. I'm kidding. But yeah. Let's see. I swallowed as a cloud of fear scent engulfed me. Rufus made a show of cracking his knuckles, meeting Sharif's gaze with a look that probably would have ended Stefan if it had been aimed at him. As buff as Sharif was, I know who I'd put my money on in a fight. Yeah, the man was in the military, so... he knows how, and he's fit. So he's been, usually people do not maintain that level of fitness, but he did. Talking about Rufus. Apparently Sharif was arriving at the same conclusion because his fury turned to a look of defensive contempt. He opened his mouth to protest, saw the collection of dirty looks he was getting, and apparently decided better of it. With a final glare at Stefan, he swept by Rufus, barging him with a shoulder and stormed out toward the cabins. Immediately, I felt the oppressive weight lift as Gale and Tabby exhaled. I realized my tail was curled in apprehension and my ears pinned back. Guess he didn't like his picture taken either. There was a brief pause, then as though expelling the nervous energy of the last few moments, I snorted in laughter. Gale joined in. You okay, kid? Rufus stood before Stefan, resting a hand on it. Remember, he is young. I think he's the youngest one here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Resting a hand on his shoulder, poor guy looked like the weight of his hand would floor him. Even from here, I could see he was shaking. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Rufus gave his shoulder a firm, reassuring squeeze and warm smile. So what was his deal? I don't know, he just got up and shouted at me. Did you take a picture of him? Gale, what difference does it make? That doesn't make his reaction any better. Yeah, I'll be honest, it's like you could have just approached Stefan over here and said, can you can you edit me out of that picture if you know, or something like, you know, I'm just saying, you could have done this way a bit more calm, you know, with a calm manner, and in a calm manner with a calm demeanor. No, I'm not saying it does. I was just curious is all. I took a picture of the room with everyone, not just him. I just wanted to get a group shot, but... Rufus placed his other hand on his shoulder, standing before him with a comforting smile. Settle down, buddy. You didn't do nothing wrong. Take a seat there. That's true. I was gonna say, he didn't really do anything wrong, man. It's not like it was... If it was, I'd get it. If it was like going to Sharif and then taking pictures of him and then interviewing him, interrogating him or some shit. No, he was like, it was like in a wide angle shot, taking a picture of the room. I don't know what intentions are, but hey, this is what it is. He likes taking pictures. He half guided, half manhandled Stefan to the nearest chair and sat him down. Stefan seemed too shell-shocked to put up any resistance. Garrett, a word? I jumped as he suddenly addressed me. He met my eyes with a dark look, then nodded his head toward the far end of the room, away from everyone else. I confusedly followed. Behind me, I heard Tabby and Gale murmuring and reassuring Stefan. Alright, need to ask you a favor. Me? Figured the poor kid didn't expect Sheriff to blow up like that. I mean, I don't like my picture getting taken either, but it was totally out of order. Agreed. So I wanted to ask, would you mind giving the kid a pep talk while I go see Sharif? He needs to know he was out of line. Why me? Well, either that or you can go give Sharif a talking to. Truth be told, I'm a little riled up right now, so it might not be the best idea for me to be alone with him if you catch my drift. You aren't going to fight him, are you? That depends on him. I ain't looking for a fight, but if he pushes me... I gulp? While I still personally place my money on Rufus, the pair of them could do real damage to each other. I didn't fancy my chances trying to break them up. There was something about the way Rufus had looked when you confronted him. a glint in his eye that made me shiver. I wasn't sure if he was the best person to mediate. That said, would I do any better? Sharif was terrifying when he was pissed. And remember, the guy has a large... his build is a bit larger than mine. If I recall, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't he like taller? Yeah, and I could probably lift me with a single arm if he wanted. Fuck, I knew nothing about resolving arguments. Garrett, you still with me? Oh, yeah. You know what? Nah, we're a wolf. I'm going in. Seeing how on edge he was, I wasn't sure it would be good to let Rufus try diplomacy, given he'd seen moments from starting a fist fight. Yeah. He raised an eyebrow, almost as if he hadn't expected me to agree. I'll talk to him, or try to at least. His other eyebrow joined the first, then he broke into a wide grin. Atta boy, you got a spine in you after all. Hey! He guffawed. Guffawed? I think it's guffawed. I'm searching this freaking, oh my goodness. It's like Duolingo, man. How do you pronounce this word? Of course, it's guffawed. Guffawed? Guffawed? He guffawed and... okay. Makes a lot of sense than guffawed. Kind of makes no sense. He guffawed and slapped my shoulder so hard my teeth rattled, as always. Go get him, and if you have to take a chunk out of his ass, feel free. Give him some scars of his own to think about. It never ceased to amaze me just how Rufus could completely poleaxe me. I couldn't even describe him as tactless. He needed to understand the concept first. Nevertheless, I gave a nervous chuckle. It wouldn't get to that. I hope. He swept past me to approach Stefan and the others. Poor Stefan. Hurricane Rufus might not be much better than Sharif. From the outside, Sharif's cabin door didn't seem much different from anyone else's outside from having Sharif Abdi on the nameplate. I paused, straining to hear inside. I wasn't really sure what I expected. Sounds of a fierce tantrum, angry muttering, but it was quiet. Maybe he was like me. He liked to quietly seethe. It probably took a good 5 minutes of straining to hear, raising my fist to knock, deciding against it, and repeating before I finally bit the bullet and rapped on the door. This time, I heard sounds of motion, then the unmistakably heavy hoof steps approaching the door. Steeling myself, I tried to adopt a relaxed posture as the door opened, revealing his decidedly displeased face. His displeasure flickered, replaced by confusion. Garrett? Well, his tone wasn't angry. That was a good start. He sounded... yeah, I was expecting Rufus or some other person to get in there, you know? Hi. Immediately, I cursed how my voice trembled and I gave what probably was a very unsettling attempt at a friendly smile. What? Is it you? That was when the realization must have hit, because the surprise quickly turned to suspicion. I just wanted to talk, that's all. Did Rufus send you? My mind raced to find an answer that wouldn't piss him off even more. Oh god. But my hesitation answered for me. That oaf sending someone else to do his dirty work. Hey, I know I'm not stupid. His bellow caught me off guard, making me recoil much to my shame. But strangely, when he noticed me backing off, he didn't seem pleased or smug. Instead, he seemed more ashamed. Well, listen, I gotta be honest, Garrett. We're not the instigator here. We're literally at the sideline. So him being kind of mad at us, I think he realizes like, wait a minute. Why am I being angry against this guy? He didn't do nothing. We stood in awkward silence for a few painfully awkward moments, to the point another power would be welcome. Fuck it, a torpedo against the hull would have been more welcome. Would you care to come in? His tone softened and he gave me an apologetic look. Well, this was a surprise, a pleasant one. Ah, the diplomatic way, huh, Sharif? He needs someone on his good side, so he's gonna try to bang us. Aye, that would be nice, thank you, laddie boy. The first thing that hit was the warmth. It was a lot warmer in here than most of the rest of the ship, almost stiflingly slow. So, it was also surprisingly cluttered. The chart he'd shown us last night was spread across the table with a desk lamp shining on it. It looked like there was a sheet of transparent plastic over it, with lines and scribbling on it in marker, Maybe he was keeping track of the voyage progress. He hastily rolled it up and placed it in the cupboard, fetching a small box. Please, take a seat. It will only be a moment. He pulled the chair out and offered it to me. Unused to his being so hospitable, I smiled and planted myself on it. I have a some, if that suits. Ah, sounds good. Tea was tea in my book, but I shouldn't have been surprised he'd have specific tastes. As he bustled about, putting on the electric kettle and setting out 2 cups, I noticed his notebook laid out on the table. Close. My thoughts were interrupted by a steaming cup of dark tea placed on the table before me. Thank you, that's very kind. Not at all. That genuine warm smile I'd seen at breakfast was back, and now I felt guilty, but he wasn't a fool. He knew why I was here. To tell the truth, Rufus did send me. He wasn't sure to be the right person to talk to you. Indeed, I am inclined to agree. The bitterness in his voice made me fear another outburst. And so he asked you? Well, I kind of was worried what might happen if he tried to talk to you, after. He huffed, sitting daintily on his bed, holding his tea. His back was still ramrod straight, and his posture like an old-style school teacher. You need not have worried. I'm not inclined to violence. Not even if provoked by an oath. Yeah, sure, buddy. Maybe he really was from someplace out of time. He wouldn't have been out of place as a schoolmaster in a pure drama. Even his insults felt antiquated. Means old. Or time... not really ancient. Classical? Still, I didn't want to take the risk. His annoyance shifted to a more thoughtful look as he watched me. Feeling awkward under his gaze, I took a sip from my tea. You surprised me, Garrett. Surprised you? Why? Up until now, you have struck me as someone who would prefer not to get involved. Stay out of nasty altercations. Meaning? Meaning that as much as I'm pleased the walking coat rack decided not to take this up with me, I'm surprised it was you who had the nerve to confront me. An academic through and through. He didn't smile or even look at me. In fact, if anything, he looked distracted. Thinking. Staring his tea and staring at his desk. I don't know if it was his veiled insinuation that I was a coward, or the fact it was making it so matter-of-factly that short-circuited my apprehension. The vibration in my chest threatened to escape as an audible snarl. I couldn't tell if he was trying to bait me. It was the sneaky way he did it that made me angry. If he had just asked, I would have declined, naturally, but at least, don't you think it was a bit of an overreaction to getting your picture taken? Don't be foolish, Garrett. He was trying to take a picture of my notebook. Wait. How do you know he took a picture of your notebook? He was taking a picture of the wider room, so he says. He met my eyes with a contemptuous look, then. Come on, I couldn't help it. The laugh just burst out, nearly sending my tea in a spray across the room. And just what is so funny? You and Stefan, you make a right pair. His dumbfounded expression only made me laugh again. I do not understand. Explain. Stefan and you both seem obsessed with assuming everyone else has some kind of hidden agenda. I'm surprised you didn't get on more, to be honest. His mouth flapped open as he started to speak, but then words failed him. I do not know what to say. Oh yeah, we got him, boys. Well, I do. We're gonna be direct. I've enough of this pussyfooting around. Fuck you, you big oaf. Look, I get you're angry. If I thought someone was intruding in my personal stuff, I would be too. But you were out of order. Your paranoia about your notebook is to Stefan like a flame is to a moth. You have no idea the kinds of... I can fathom, I guess. He mentioned some alt history trash by noted charlatan Rupert Gadala. Doesn't matter. What matters is he isn't convinced by your story about finding this chart, note, whatever, from Hagen, and I'll be honest, neither am I. I fail to see what... And I know others feel the same way, even if they aren't quite as obvious about it. What I'm trying to say is that it's obvious Stefan of all people would be curious about your notebook. That does not give him the right to snoop, and I do not care if you are convinced or not. You are here by your own volition. But you don't know if... Enough. Finally, he stood, slamming his cup into the table. I felt that jolt of fear again as he towered over me. I will not be lectured or talked down to. Please leave and tell Stefan to keep out of my way from now on. And that goes for the hick jarhead too. Oh fuck, great going, Garrett. Whoa, calm down. Whoa, buckaroo. What if I said, be diplomatic? Look, I won't pretend to understand what your book means to you, but damn, man, you scared the shit out of Stefan. That poor guy is like... alright? Half your size, blah blah blah. Lad, he cannot be much younger than you know. You get what I mean. I implored him, leaning forward and putting my tea on the desk. I mean, don't you think he regrets what he did? I'd be surprised if he wants to be in the same room as you after this. That does not excuse... He made a frustrated gesture and rolled his eyes, but he also wasn't shouting at me. A good step. I admit, I may have been overly harsh. Overly harsh? I kept my tone light, raising an eyebrow like like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson does in his memes or in that GIF, and offering a small smile. I wanted him to acknowledge his behavior, but I didn't want him to. I didn't want to come across as lecturing. He seems like the guy who preferred to give the lectures, not take them from ready little twigs like me. Oh, fine. Yes, I admit it. There we go. Maybe diplomacy was the better option after all. He glared at nothing in particular, avoiding eye contact and folding his arms for someone who seemed like a posh... Oh, I fucking skipped it. Sorry. Like a posh know-it-all. He looked for all the world like a child when he was in a huff. I did not mean to scare him. I just wanted him to admit what he did. He trailed off, his anger shifting slowly to something I didn't think I'd ever see on his face, which seemed tailor-made to wear smugness. Shame. Is he okay? His voice was small, quiet, and he finally met my eyes again. Yeah, I think so. The others are calming him down now. It was not my intention to frighten him. I was just so... He gestured in the air as though trying to find the right words. I feel violated. Pause. I can understand why he's curious. God help him. I know from what he reads, he must have an interesting mind. Oh God, did he finally corner you about that book of his? In a manner of speaking, he finally broke a smile. Oh, it is awful trash. Absolutely unreadable alt history claptrap. But I cannot deny he is enthusiastic and observant too. Perhaps if he was less... how to put it? Like a wind-up toy that never winds down. He gave me a blank look for a moment, then he burst out laughing. He is, indeed, rather much. Listen, I have enjoyed our chat, but... He looked ashamed again, and he gestured to the door. Would you be able to... Tell him I apologize. I will do so myself, of course, but I feel that right now... of course, Halade boy, I get it. I'll let him know. Thank you. We both stood, and after an awkward pause... Oh, wait. Yeah. He extended a hand. I am pleased you had the nerve to come speak to me. I doubt Rufus would have been so... mature. Whoa. Don't look at me with those fuck me eyes, okay? Maybe. I grinned and accepted... Remember, I'm the character here. I'm Garrett right now, and he's bi as fuck. I grinned and accepted his hand. I turned and made my way to the door, not caring at all about the wagging tail following me. I admit, I felt a little pleased with myself as I entered the lounge. I felt even better when I saw that Stefan seemed to have cheered up a little. The others were around him, Rufus standing with his back to me and arms folded as his booming voice carried over the room. The rest of them laughed at whatever he was saying. Gail sat close by Stefan, presumably to comfort him. When her eyes met mine, we communicated wordlessly. She took one look at my expression and broke into a wide grin. Oh, there you are. How'd it go with the good professor? As I approached, I could see their eyes glance down into my tail. I didn't even care to try and suppress the wagging, and I could see from their brightening expressions that they were drawing the right conclusions. He said he was sorry that he overreacted. He wants to apologize to you personally, Stefan. I mean, not right now, obviously. I added hastily as I saw a flicker of panic on his face. He understands things are... raw right now. But later on, when everyone has had a chance to process it, he'll come say sorry, okay? His expression shifted between uncertainty, nervousness, and dread, but finally he cracked a relieved smile. Thanks, Garrett. It means a lot to me that you spoke to him. Guess I was right to ask you. So how'd you do it? Twist his arm? Threaten to give him a scar or two of his own? Rufus? Tabby snorted, clearly amused at someone else getting the Gale treatment. No. I just talked with him. He's not so unreasonable if you chat with him a bit. I'll take your word for it. Can't say I wouldn't have done some arm twisting of my own, but you did good, kid. I joined the group as Rufus launched back into another outrageous story about his days as a soldier, but I was only half listening as I felt sudden, overwhelming fatigue. He's an introvert true and true, my man. We get tired with his emotional kerfuffles, you know? Drama. My stomach felt like it was in knots, and I was dying for a smoke. Was this just a post-adrenaline come down? Whatever it was, I just needed to be alone right now. Hey, I'll see you guys later. I'm going back to my cabin for a bit. Are you okay? You seem a bit shaken. I'm fine. Really? I just need a bit of a kip and I'll be okay, I think. Before they could press me further, I moved toward the door as nonchalantly as I could, offering what I hope was a reassuring smile before departing. Almost as soon as I locked the door behind me, I felt like my chest was going to burst. I'd have grabbed the smoke to calm my nerves, but I couldn't smoke indoors and I really didn't feel like being around people right now. And then I remembered, fuck. I pulled my phone out, 3 missed messages from mom. Well, we're cooked. I was about to respond when I saw the signal bar was empty. Fuck. I guess I could send an email. I need to ask June how I could access the internet or if there was a satellite phone. I kinda butchered that sentence. Yeah, I keep saying the F word, man. I bashed the back of my head against the door in frustration. I'd promised I'd get in touch with her today and now... I swiped to open my messages. Okay, pet, looking forward to it. Sweet dreams. Her response to my last message. My stomach dropped as I continued. Morning, pet. Sleep well? Can you talk? Hi, Garrett. Just check if you're okay to chat. Love you. Remember to stay warm. My mouth felt dry. Fuck, I'd missed not only my window to get off this fucking tub, but I'd missed my opportunity to let mom know I was okay. Shit, what if that was my last message? What if the ship sank? She'd continue sending more and more, never knowing for sure. Fuck! My chest felt like a cauldron of molten lead. Not just anger at myself, frustration at the whole situation, but guilt. Stop it. I closed my eyes, leaning my head back against the door and focused on my breathing. It will pass. Count to 5. I slip into practice, repeating it in my head like a mantra, weathering the adrenaline storm coursing through me. For minutes, I'm not sure exactly how long. I just focused on breathing. It didn't silence the internal screaming, the thoughts thrashing around seeking whatever it could to torment me. But gradually, agonizingly slowly, it quietened. Never fully, of course, was always there. But focusing on my breathing was like turning down the volume. Slowly, I reopened my eyes. It would be fine. I could contact mom later. I just need to speak to June. Make a plan. Just stop catastrophizing. Which is easier said than done. My hands automatically reach into my pockets, pulling out the cigarette packet and my lighter. The bathroom? I could go for a smoke there. I didn't care if it set off the alarm right now. I just needed my fix. Pushing myself upright, I quick walked to the bathroom. I yanked a smoke out with my teeth and lit up like I'd done 1,000 times before. And as soon as the rush hit me, I tilted my head back, closed my eyes, and let out a long sigh. As the smoke left my lungs, it felt as though it carried the toxic thoughts and feelings with it. Ironically, leaving behind a lot of very real toxic crap in my lungs, but that was for future me to worry about. Only after the room began filling with smoke did I realize why this was a bad idea in the first place. Fortunately, the small porthole could be opened. I regretted it immediately as a spray of frigid ocean water entered the room, sucking out any heat even with my jacket still on. I was shivering. The things I do for smoke. I half chuckled to myself, then caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror, leaning against the wall and drawing again from my smoke. Mom told me to stop this, told me about my emphysema, lung cancer, blah blah blah. It wasn't like I didn't know all this. Didn't feel the nagging in the back of my mind, wondering if this cigarette was the one that planted the seeds of cancer. If this was the draw that would sow the arterial gunshot that would trigger the heart attack or stroke. Fuck, that voice was coming back again. I hated that voice more than anything. More than my thunderclaps, more than my smoking habit, more than watching mom deteriorate. Even when I was feeling good, when nothing seemed to be really wrong, or at least not as bad as it could be, it would rise up from my subconscious and blather about everything and anything. What ifs, what abouts, could'ves, should'ves. And as I observed myself smoking, that voice began conjuring images of myself on oxygen, unable to even climb stairs while getting out of breath. Fuck it. I stubbed it out in the sink, then tossed the butt out the porthole. I decided to keep it open slightly by closing the bathroom door. I wanted the smoke to ventilate outside and not into my bedroom where it might actually trigger the smoke alarm. Assuming those fucking things work. While I was here, I dropped some Declo. I keep forgetting. There's no I there. It's an E. While I was here, I dropped some Declo into my eye just in case. The day had been surprisingly free of pain, but I wasn't willing to chance it. With what little buzz I could get from my smoke fading, I staggered to the bed and flopped onto it. Halfway through my first day and already I was falling apart. Jesus, God forbid a real crisis occurred. I'd be worse than useless. I fumbled for the cable and plugged my phone back in, then set an alarm for dinner time. A nap would help, always felt better after sleep. Whatever problem my mind tormented me over convinced me was an insurmountable apocalyptic event. A few hours of blissful unconsciousness did wonders to silence it. At least for a while. Without even taking off my boots, I closed my eyes and within moments, I was out like a light. I was lucky to have a dreamless sleep. I couldn't say I felt amazing. Napping usually made me feel a bit more than tired than I originally had been for a short while. But at least the storm in my head was over. The alarm kicked me fully out of sleep. I lay there for a moment debating whether I wanted to sleep more. Then my stomach vibrated, growling in protest. I realized I'd not actually eaten lunch. All that drama had wiped it from my mind and the cigarette had suppressed my appetite just before my nap. Dragging myself off the bed, I debated getting a shower before deciding against... before deciding against. Yeah, that's it. I was waiting for the it word. I was like, deciding against it. I'm sorry, everyone. Going back to it, I'd like to grab dinner while it was quiet and certainly without a large crowd. Slipping my phone in my pocket next to my smokes, I stretched, rubbed my eyes, and moved like a zombie toward the door. By the time I arrived in the lounge, only June, Dana, Tabby, and Gail were present. Dana was chatting a bit with Gail, while June and Tabby were gathered near the kitchen hatch. Already I could smell something good wafting through the hatch. Cumin, coriander, and is that galangal? I was about to say it's curry. Probably curry of some kind, and it smelled delicious. Is this a green paste curry? Hey Garrett, your stomach guided you here, no doubt. Not really, but it's definitely getting rumbly. That smells amazing. What's for dinner? Thai green curry. Don't worry, chef has made 2 versions for people who don't like it spicy. Oh, he must have really put himself out for that. Not that I'm not grateful. Mind. I figured I'd try a little of both. I really like spicy food, but it's only respectful to at least give both a shot, since Chef made the effort. I noticed that everyone else still hadn't arrived. Maybe there was still some lingering bad blood from the argument between Sharif and Stefan from earlier. Too hungry to bother waiting, I scooped some of both of the curries into a mound of rice and sat at the bar greedily devouring it. The spicy version was indeed too spicy for me. It absolutely tasted good. From what I could detect through the burning sensation, the mild version was perfect. Nevertheless, I was too hungry to care. I cleaned my plate before sitting back and sighing sated. You were hungry, giving Stefan a run for his money. I'm not that bad. She chuckled and was about to speak when... Oh, what the hell? This time I reached down to my pocket for my phone, fumbling with it until I could wake it up. Dana and Gail had the same idea and soon the 3 of us were using our phone torches. June pulled a small torch from her pocket. Tabby, it's okay, you're safe. That was when I remembered Tabby's nyctophobia. Without thinking, I turned my light on her. She was clutching herself, legs curled together and hunched over, eyes wide and breathing harsh and quick. Garrett, you're blinding her. Fuck, sorry. Gail pulled her into a firm embrace, muffling her whimpering. Let's go outside, Tabby. Get some air, okay? Without waiting for a response, she hustled her sister out toward the door. Dana helped them with her own light, pushing the door open to usher them through. With a grateful smile, the sisters disappeared out into the deck. What happened? A power cut? Again? I made no attempt to disguise my frustration. I don't know. I'll go speak to the captain. Just wait here, okay? We're not even the route yet. We're just starting. Holy shit. I don't like where this is going, the sleepyheads. People are watching. I mean, clearly something's about to go real bad. Without waiting for an answer, she hurried off, leaving me and Dana alone. 2 power cuts in 2 days. Yeah. Although she still had that usual haughty look, I could see from the curling and slight puffiness in her tail she was agitated. I strained my ears, listening for any sounds. I couldn't hear Gale or Tabby out on the deck. In fact, other than our breathing and slight sound of wind in the sea, it was silent. Wait. Silent? Can you hear the engines? Oh my god, no! We're stuck here? She froze, eyes up at the ceiling and ears perked as she, like me, strained to hear. No, the engines are off. We exchanged where we looked. Lights going off was one thing, but the engines too? That was really not good. My thoughts were interrupted by the sounds of heavy, aggressive thumping steps coming up from the coming up the stairs from the cabins. I watched the door leading to the cabin stairwell corridor and... What is going on? Why is the power out? Don't ask us. June just went to the bridge to speak to the captain. Though, I'm tempted to go up there myself and give him a piece of my mind. Let me talk to the fool. He stormed past us, using his own phone for light as he climbed up the stairs to the bridge deck. I'll be honest, that's scary. The man who hired the people here doesn't even know what's happening. That's hella reassuring, I guess. And the emergency lights still don't work. Naturally. Sounds like the captain is going to have a lot more than an angry sheriff to deal with. I gave a wry smirk and we lapsed into silence. I contemplated going outside to check on Gale and Tabby when a thought struck me. Where is everyone else? Stefan that they should be here by now, especially with food almost ready. Don't know. Rufus said he was going to take a nap. Maybe, but Aaron and Stefan not being here is kind of worrying. I hope they aren't lost or anything. I doubt they'd be able to get lost on a ship this size. Although, maybe if Aaron takes after Carrie. She really wasn't going to let this Carrie business go. We heard the door at the top of the stairs open and some hushed voices, June and Sharif. They both started down the stairs, Sharif looking grim and June, she looked slightly frantic. This wasn't what I expected from her. Up until now, Tabby screaming last night notwithstanding, she'd seemed rock steady. This whole business had clearly rattled her. Guys, has Joseph shown up? The bull guy? No. Oh no, no, is someone suspicious here? Someone suicidal? What is this shit? Can't you contact him? By radio or something? The ship intercoms are down and he's not answering by radio. He could be hurt. Something must have happened to him. It's not like him to not answer. Oh yeah, we forgot. There's only a handful of the crew. A chef, a mechanic, a captain, and is she the navigator? I forgot what her role is. My god. June, calm yourself. You're supposed to be the one in charge of us, remember? She blinked as though she'd been slapped. Then her expression hardened and some of her previous grit returned. The ship's radio is down, as is navigation and engines. We are adrift and have no means of contacting help. This is a total power failure. Something must have gone really badly wrong. Wait. First no emergency lights. Now what? We don't even have battery backup? We do. I don't know why it hasn't kicked in. God damn, someone in this motherfucking ship is sabotaging us. A saboteur. We'll hang this treasonous wench on the fucking hull of the ship. Doesn't matter if they freeze to death. Walk them to the plank, as I say. Yeah, she needs to find Joseph, I'll be honest. Without the man who can fix things, yeah. It's over. I'm coming with you. Me too. I blurted it out before I could stop myself, but I didn't want to be alone here, and I wanted to know what was going on. No, this is my job, not yours. It's too dangerous. June, I respect your position, but going alone would be reckless. I'll be honest, that's true. This is what I was talking about, man. This ship is heavily unmanned. Do you think there would at least be 10 people so they could work in pairs, or maybe even more, you know, for the ship if shit does go down? But we only have like 4 people? 5? I don't know, man. She looked to each of us in turn, biting her lower lip. It was clear she was grateful to be offered company, even if her professional pride was less thankful. Come on, what's the harm? Besides, the longer we sit here dawdling, the greater the danger, right? Alright, but you do as I say. Are we clear? We both nodded. I will come too. This is the second power cut in 2 days, and I am very much eager to meet this Joseph. The three of us gave a collective shudder at the thought of Sharif and Joseph having a shouting match, but no one objected. June pulled some torches from under the bar and handed each of us one. Here, save your phone batteries. Moving down the stairs towards the cabins, it was only now it was dimly illuminated by a window allowing moonlight in that I realized just how cramped the passages were. It also didn't help that I could feel the rolling of the ship beneath my paws. Speak up. Maybe it was just my nerve-riddled senses in overdrive, but I thought I could hear the wind increasing, and my nerves only worsened at the prospect of an uncontrollable ship in a rough storm. Without the windows allowing in moonlight, the corridor was utterly pitch black. I switched on my torch, giving us a view of the now not-so-cozy interior. This shit, okay, this is actually scary. Never mind. I'll be honest, ships with any ship, be it the amazing interior decor, or maybe your typical metal surface ship, inside, interior-wise, they're all creepy or kind of unsettling when it's pitch black. Hello? She squinted into the corridor, shining her torch back and forth. Dana? Thought I saw someone. I felt the ship pitch slightly, then it rolled to the left, causing a feeling of vertigo. Feels like a storm is brewing. Without engines, we're fucked. The engine room is at the end of the corridor, down the stairs. Stefan? Aaron? Rufus? I called out, straining my ears for the sounds of movement or voices. Nothing. Okay, this is weird. Yo, this is weird. Why? I get if one of them doesn't like... Let's say Rufus is taking a nap. Yeah, maybe he doesn't know. What about Aaron and Stefan? Where are they? How can they get lost on a ship this small? Unless this ship is haunted. Clustered together, we made our way unsteadily. Shadows moved as the corridor began to rock, and the beams from our torches slid across the walls. It was unsettling just how aware I was of the sounds of the ocean and the wind. It had always been there, as had the rolling of the ship. But knowing we had no engines made me flinch at every tilt. The familiar scent of fear, 3 different scents to be precise, drowned out all the other scents. Having a lupin nose was sometimes a curse. What is that? What is a lupin? Oh my god, so Declo and Lupin. And Servine, okay. Having a lupin nose was something a curse. So I fucking fucked it up twice. I pronounced it in French. My bad. Wait! I placed a hand on my chest, half expecting my heart to explode through my ribs. Damn it, Sharif, don't just shout like that. But he ignored us, shoving past the storm over to a cabin door. Who has been in my room? Motherfucker, don't look at us, my man. We were literally with you. Are you fucking serious? We don't have time for this. I closed my door. I know I did. Someone has been in here. Sharif, the ship is rocking like crazy. It could have just opened. And anyway, who cares? You probably didn't close it properly. It happens. Wait here. I need to check something. My god, this guy. What are you hiding, man? What are you hiding? Nudes? It's like... Let's say that the notebook doesn't really matter. Let's say the only thing... Unless... Maybe financial stuff? I'd get it when you're private, but that would be weird. Why put a fucking ledger in here? Without dignifying me with a response, he shoved the door open and clamped inside. Should we wait? Fuck him, we don't have time. You said yourself, we don't have communications either, right? Yeah. So not only are we out of control, if something does happen, we have no way of sending a distress call. Just like the Aran. Sharif, we don't have time, hurry up! From inside his cabin, I could hear a rustling of paper, like it was leafing through a book. Then a loud, fierce snort. The angry hoofsteps reverberated through my paws and up my legs until he reappeared at his cabin door. And he looks pissed! Then let us go, I will deal with this later. Jeez, man, I get it. You're standing on business. 10,000 standing on business. Big... I'm a player. The big dogs. Big dogs. He shoved something in his jacket pocket before turning without another word and marching off down the corridor. Must be a gun. Well, let's go. Maybe she sounded baffled. But we knew we couldn't stand around. We followed the clear receding horse. I'd take him getting killed first. Listen, my boy Garrett ain't built for this. Dana maybe, and June as well. So Garrett may be somewhere in the third. We don't want to be the way in the back because either someone's behind us and kills someone, or someone's in front of us and kills that person up ahead. Rather be in the middle. The second set of stairs led down to the inky black lowest deck. Down here, the increasing rolling of the ship was even more apparent. Even with the torchlight, the darkness was oppressive, and to make matters worse, it was freezing down here. My breath fogged in front of me and my nose nipped in the biting cold. Heating must be down too. No engine, no heating, so we're absolutely about to get fucked by the environment. I could hear the shivering in her voice. Already the cold was cutting through to me. So if we don't drown, we'll freeze. Garrett! Enough I fucking love Garrett. I'd say that as well. Enough, June. Where's the engine room? Just down there. She pointed toward the rather sturdy looking sealed door. Sharif was already standing there, arms crossed and tapping a finger patiently in his arm. The door is locked. Of course it is. Here, allow me. June sounded pretty irritated or irate, which I guess I could understand. I preferred her like this to borderline panic-stricken, at least. She fumbled for a set of keys and was about to slot them to the lock when I heard something. June, wait! She jumped and yelled, and even Sharif looked startled. Garrett, what? Quiet, listen. Silence fell over us. The wind was clearly pretty wild now. Even down here in the bowels of the ship, I could hear it. I heard it clearly this time. A harsh, snapping noise. Then another, irregular and unpredictable. I was about to say, clearly this is electricity. We heard it. Yeah. He's a Sparky. He got this. No one touch anything metallic. June, let me unlock it. What is it? Why? You have fingerless gloves. Listen, I can hear something sparking in there. The walls or floor could be alive. Don't touch anything, okay? I wasn't used to taking command like this, but if something in there was really shorting, any conductive surface could be deadly. The key entered the lock and I turned it. Hearing it click open, I turned the wheel and pushed, revealing the engine room. Oh no, it shorted. The moment the door opened, the sounds of the electrical sparking became harsh enough to make me flinch. Each spark briefly illuminated the back of the room, casting eerie shadows. Oh my god, Joseph! Joseph, are you there? Dana joined in the shouting, more commanding in her tone versus June's slightly raised pitch. But there was no response. Where the hell is Joseph then? Joseph! Joseph! June, calm yourself. There's no time to panic. There's a note. What if he got electrocuted? What if he's hurt? Then with June, I get that you're worried, but you cannot fuck around in here, understand? I placed a hand on her shoulder, trying my best to be reassuring while also impressing upon her the imminent danger. There's a note. There's a fucking note there, man. It sounds like power is still coming from somewhere. If that shorting is anything to go by. June, do you know if this ship has a backup generator or batteries? Yeah, there's a backup. In fact, I think I can hear it. My hearing was a little phased by a constant loud electrical burst, but as I strained to hear, I heard a soft, low rumble from one of the side rooms. Okay, before we do anything, I need to turn it off. Can you take me there? Do you think you can fix it, Garrett? No idea, but I need to turn off that backup before I can get near it. In the meantime, could you two... I gestured to Sharif and Dana. Look for the breakers. It should be a big cabinet with a series of switches, kind of like what you'd find in your house, just bigger. They exchanged dubious looks, but thankfully didn't argue. Oh, before you go, I assure you I have no intention of touching anything, Garrett. I ignored this attitude and followed June towards the side room. It was dangerously close to the sparking equipment, which, now I could see, seemed to be a control panel near the main generator. I had an awful feeling in the pit of my stomach that whatever was damaged was not going to be repairable. At least not without Joseph. Wherever he was. God rest his soul. Whoa, calm down. I hit the mic. Calm down, everyone. Maybe he's alive. Let's be optimistic here. Not negative, not pessimistic, not even cynical. I'll be honest, sleepyheads, I think I slowly am becoming a cynical person. That's what I've noticed. I've been kind of mean. And that's horrible, right? You're aware. That's even worse when you're aware, but you're still doing it. Became part of you now, or me. The backup was a dinky looking piece of crap. Rattling and vibrating, the engine room itself was dark and I didn't know enough about ship engines to really judge their condition. Sparking control panel notwithstanding. But this thing looked like it was moments away from rattling itself to pieces. I slowly reached for the power switch, half expecting an arc to zap my fingers before pulling the switch down. Instantly the backup generator stopped and with it the sparking. With the absence of the constant electric popping, the ringing in my ears began to fade. Okay, now what? Now I need to go take a look at the damage. Listen, I need to go look for Joseph. He could be hurt or... She trailed off. In all honesty, June wasn't going to be of much use to me now. And it was clear her mind was focused on him. Okay, where are you going to look? Just so we know where to find you once we're done. I'm going to search the machine shop just opposite the door we entered. Though if he's not there, then I guess the crew cabins are the only place I can think of he could be. A sense of vertigo came over me as I felt the ship roll beneath my paws, making me grab a conduit to stop myself toppling over. Okay, fair enough. I need to get to work. Be careful, okay? Come back here if you find him. Okay, good luck. She gave me a weak smile and left through the door. When I entered the engine room again, Dana was waiting for me. Found something. She hefted a metal toolbox. Outstanding, just what I need. Anything else? I think I found a cabinet like what you described, but I can't be sure because it was near the sparking thing. I'll show you. Is that thing going to start sparking again? No, the power is off. I mean completely this time. I shone the torch around, noticing the horse was nowhere to be seen. Where's Sharif? I don't know. He was near the back corner of the room last I checked. My god, so people are just great. I guess it's just you and me, Tiger. Pause. No, fuck it. Resume. Sharif? I called out, peering around the machinery. That was when I noticed I couldn't see the light from his torch. The engine room was spacious enough, but not enough to play hide and seek. Sharif, stop screwing around. Silence. Can you fucking believe this? Alright, look, show me this cabinet and I can make a start on him. Then you can go take a look for him, okay? I saw her tail thrash a little and her lip twitch. I was getting the impression she didn't like being told what to do. Fortunately, she relented, turning and leading me towards the panels that had previously been showering sparks everywhere. This one here. She shone her light on a tall cabinet with an upper panel of large switches and a red button under a plastic protective flap. Is this what you need? Scanning it with my torch, I squinted the labels and warnings. A pull-down handle near the red button was marked Charge. The labels above the switches had a bewildering series of names consisting of names like C2 or forward BPs, but I finally found one I could understand. Rudder control. This is it. So what do you think? Fixable? I can't say yet. I need to take a closer look. Why don't you look for Sharif? Yeah, but I want to ask you about something first. Her sudden tone shift gave me pause. About what? Guess. Oh my god, what an asshole. Sharif? You think he's on the level? I see what you're talking. I met her eyes, trying to figure out. She gave nothing away, watching me with her laser-like gaze. I don't know. She didn't react, but she did glance around, suddenly concerned for any potential eavesdroppers. I heard what happened with Stefan. And what did you hear? I was getting frustrated with her vagueness, and the tilting and low roar of the weather was not helping. She looked a little taken aback by my snapping at her, but I could swear I saw a slight smirk. Stefan was taking pictures of him and his notebook, and he lost his temper. His notebook? Stefan wasn't taking pictures of him or his fucking notebook. He was taking pictures and Sharif overreacted. How do you know? He nearly decked him. I was there. No, I mean, how do you know he wasn't taking a picture of his notebook? Because he said so? Woman, don't be playing games like this. We're on a ship. Stranded. We don't want a civil fucking mutiny going on or some shit like this. My mouth opened to retort, but as it hit me, I realized I couldn't really answer her truthfully. And her face took on an infuriating smug grin. I fucking hate it when people think they have a conspiracy or they got a clue and they think they're 100% right. Why would he lie about it? You said the same about Sharif to him, didn't you? I overheard you lie. Oh my god, what a snooper over here. Are we sure you're not some kind of neighborhood tita or auntie? She kept watching me with a piercing look, making me increasingly feel like I was being interrogated. What exactly are you getting at, woman? It's weird to trust him but not Sharif. You've heard his weird rantings, right? It's a conspiracy nut. That's it. I wouldn't say I trust him. He's harmless. Weird? Definitely. Yeah. But, again, how do you know? If you have something to say, just fucking say it. I've had it up to here with his cryptic shite. As soon as the words were out of my mouth, I regretted it. The last thing I needed was an argument. And yet she watched with a curious look, analyzing me in a way that nearly set me off again. Just don't take Stefan lightly. Someone that delusional isn't reliable. That's a bit harsh. He's clearly trying to cope with his brother's death. We're all trying to cope. Well, If I was Garrett, I'm like, well, I'm not. I'm just there to confirm my brother's death. That's it. Or a body or something. Her voice raised a little in anger before she visibly deflated, closing her eyes as she fought back whatever she'd been about to say. I'm just saying, believe whatever you want, Garrett. We shouldn't be doing this. This is like Viper shit. This is snaky. Snake gang here. Anything else I'd wanted to say was interrupted by another lurch of the ship. I took the toolbox from Dana, set it on the floor, and started examining the panel, ignoring her indignant look. The upper panel seemed fine. There was no damage I could see, although all the switches were off. It probably tripped when whatever the hell that sparking machine was blew up. I sank to my haunches, examining the lower part of the cabinet, and Christ on a bike. The lower part of the cabinet held what I could only describe as an absolute disgrace of a nest of cables. I got cable management, everyone, not even on your computer. When it comes to electrical stuff or even on your computer, better make sure each one has space with the cables and whatnot. Why? In case shit goes down, one of the wires fucks up, it doesn't bring the whole fucking electrical outlet or system with it. I could only stare for a few moments as I tried to unless it's a really bad electrical problem. Yeah. Either way, I could only stare for a few moments as I tried to figure out just how to even begin examining what was happening down there. Who fucking maintains this? Silly question, of course, but was Joseph really responsible for this? The Sylvia clearly had technical issues, but this looked like someone had rearranged entire contents using moon logic. Parts of it looked like cables had been pulled out of something, and others looped around and entwined each other so much I couldn't even begin to figure out where they went. Others had been patched together in possible repair jobs, but the two sides of the wire were in different colored insulation, meaning they couldn't have been the same original wire. So this is why Joseph was like, this ship? Not good. Not good. This couldn't simply be an accident or incompetence. I gave my head a shake and leaned in, gingerly tugging out a bundle of cables and angling the torch to see better inside. I need hours and a manual just to figure out what was happening. I was about to stand to try restarting the power without touching the wires when the ship suddenly lurched beneath my feet, tilting to the side and causing me to topple. Ah, fuck. I only barely caught the edge of the cabinet, sparing me from being thrown across the room. This is really bad. The storm must be going mental up there. The thought of being trapped down here in the event the ship capsized or started flooding gave me a moment of pause. Maybe I should find the others and get the fuck out of here. But then I remembered that the ship had no communications. If we abandoned the ship, there was no telling how long it would take for help to arrive, and I didn't fancy our chances in a lifeboat out there. Particularly not the Sylvia lifeboat. If literally anything else about her upkeep was— I was about to say, if the whole fucking ship, it clearly hasn't been upkeep with the money that it needs to be repaired or fixed. It's lifeboats? I don't even know those things would fucking float for a day or so. I muttered under my breath as I examined the panel. Maybe just shorted out and needs restarting. Dana, did you find Sharif? Dana? Oh my god, I knew I told her to go find him, but surely she couldn't have gone far. Fuck's sake, Dana, if you and Sharif are fucking with me. Yup, I'm stuck here, alone, the lower deck of a ship that's clearly about to sink. Neither of them seem the types to play pranks, especially not in this situation. Where could they have gone? I decided to focus on repairs. Everything else could wait. Judging by the state of the switches, everything had been tripped, probably something similar to last night, but the sonar had tripped out the lights. I pushed each switch up to on in turn. I lifted the start button flap and pressed it. A loud clunk sounded and then... The damaged panel behind me issued a shower of sparks, briefly illuminating the area and scaring the shit out of me. Looks like it was too much load. I need to try switching stuff on bit by bit. The switches had all tripped again, so I peered much closer at the labels, trying to figure out what I should prioritize. Let's just get the engine working. One by one, I squinted the labels until I found one reading props and another marked radar. Assuming the second was for the rudder, the two switches up and repeated the power on. Yes! My heart leapt as the rumbling grew louder and more intense, drowning out every other sound. Don't tell me this is gonna be one of those Event Horizon movies, man. I wanted to leap for joy and tell the bridge we had engine power, but with no communications? Given how the engine was making my ears ring and my brain vibrate in my skull, I figured they had to know by now. With the main priority dealt with, lights would be very nice. But as my hand reached for the switches again, I reconsidered. Getting communications up seemed the next most important priority. I could live with the dark a bit longer if it means we could call for help. Locating the switches for the communications was more difficult. The names of the switches were mostly cryptic when not incomprehensible. C2? Maybe? Comms 2? What the hell? I decided to give it a try. My ears were starting to hurt from being next to the engine. Hopefully this works, man. I don't want Garrett to die here. Nothing. Assuming it was for comms, I wouldn't know for sure down here. I could only hope the bridge now had contact with the outside world again. Maybe getting the lights back up would be the next best. Garrett? Did someone just say something? The roar of the engine was all I could hear. Fuck, my ears would be ringing for hours after this. I scanned the switches trying to identify something that might control the lights. Just as I felt a hand on my shoulder, Garrett! Ah! There, looking both fierce and alarmed, was a huge bull. Joseph! My heart hammered in my ribcage, his alarm faded and the fear in his face became ever more apparent. What doing? I could barely hear him over the engine. I leaned forward, pricking an ear and cupping a hand. What? The fear in his face gave me pause as he loomed over me. What are you doing? Even with the engine, I could hear the outrage in his voice. Before I could say anything though, Dana and Sheriff both materialized. Is control. Where fucking... Joseph finally snapped and banged a huge fist against the cabinet by him, drawing our attention. He jabbed a finger toward the door and beckoned us. Damn. Jesus, calm down, Joseph. What were you thinking playing with engine? You could have been killed. I recoiled, facing. Oh, well, Joseph does know that the fucking engine and its switches are clearly... I'd say they're operational. Let's go with that. They're doing their best. I recoiled, raising my hands defensively. I just fixed the... You could have blown half the ship systems. It is delicate. You don't know what you're doing. Oh, okay. Now wait just a second. Where were you, Joseph? Yeah. Sleeping. I am only engineer on ship. I can't be on duty always. Are you for real? You were asleep during all of that? I'm pretty sure the man's tired. He's been trying to keep the ship alive and barely running. So I agree. I could see why he could... Listen, if you're actually really tired, it doesn't matter where you are, man. Hot, cold. Your body would immediately say, sleep first. Even if you might die, don't matter. You're about to get knocked the fuck out. Where the fuck do you get off lecturing me? The huge bull hesitated, looking a little uncertain. He pointed a finger at me and started to speak, but something snapped, or rather my jaws did. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Garrett is clearly stressed. That fucking disgrace of a breaker isn't delicate. It's a goddamn time bomb. Where did you learn engineering? The fucking circus? Fear. He looked like he wanted to retort, but I wasn't having it. I get what you told me to leave last night. This ship is a fucking death trap. Garrett, calm yourself. Easy. I think you told him off good. Listen, it's like seeing someone in computer science, as a software engineer. They see the code and they're like, who the fuck coded this shit? A monkey? Or like, an electrician seeing the electrical wirings not properly maintained, not organized, not labeled. They're gonna go huffing and puffing because it's the same thing. You don't want a mechanic sees what you did with the car, and if they just laugh, you know you fucked up big time. If they're mad, it means I mean, it's fixable. You just didn't know. But when they laugh, it means they're like, what the fuck are we gonna do with this? You are engineer? Joseph, what happened? Are you alright? What in God's name is going on? What's all the ruckus? The pair of them appeared towards the top of the corridor, June sprinting towards us before throwing herself at Joseph. Thank God, when you didn't answer the radio, She trailed off, her voice cracking as Joseph placed his hands on her back, patting her comfortingly. Well, he's an electrical engineer, so he's more of an expertise with electricity. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? I am fine, June. Thank you. I suggest we regroup in the lounge and make sure everyone is accounted for. By the time we all arrived, Stefan, Aaron, Gale, and Tabby were all waiting for us. What happened? What do you mean what happened? Where were you and Aaron too, for that matter? You too, Stefan. Why did none of you come up here to the lounge when the power went off? The three looked put on the spot before launching to defensive protest. I was sleeping. I like to take a siesta after lunch. You've been asleep since lunch? I did come here. No one was here when I arrived, so I went to the deck and found Gale and Tabby. It's true, everyone found us and stayed with us. We came back indoors when the storm picked up though. Tabby still looked shaken. I'll bet she's been having the time of her life on this tub. Stefan? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what? I took a nap as well. Is that a crime? Are you also fond of taking post-lunch siestas? It was obvious Sheriff didn't believe a word, but before they could start butting heads again, I interjected. June, how is the ship? Do we have control back? Yes, but... Her eyes darting to Joseph as if to confirm something. But... The impatience in her voice was matched only by the agitated thrashing of her tail. Oh, communications are still down. Where is the captain? Seriously, I thought I'd restored power to communications. Then it means that our comms are still down for some other reason. Maybe the power failure damaged them or something, but we can't contact land and our GPS is offline. I will do what I can, but you... He gestured to me, our eyes meeting, and I felt a pang of anger. I've probably damaged something when you mess with it. We're not paying attention? I fixed the fucking thing! At least as best as I could tell from... Enough, this is not helping. I agree. I stewed in my resentment, where is the S? Sleepy, where is it? I stewed in my resentment, giving the bull a glare, but he was now watching Sharif with an intense look. Now I want to hear an explanation from the boss in here, and I hope for your sake it's better than the pathetic excuse you gave earlier. Wait, I don't get what's going on. Did you say Garrett fixed the engine? I'll let him explain if you wouldn't mind. She gestured to me and now all her eyes were on me. Whatever frustration and anger I had evaporated. I might as well have had a spotlight on me. Well, I restored power. I wouldn't say I repaired things technically, but the power system is a piece of shite. I was lucky not to blow the damn thing up, it was so fragile. But you didn't get the communications on though, right? I thought I did, but I don't know. Joseph would be the one to ask. That fortunately drew the intense gaze away from me and onto Joseph, who sure enough did not respond or emote in any way. Christ, maybe he could teach me being calm under pressure. He certainly shouldn't teach engineering. Oh, damn! This ship is in bad way. As only engineer, I can only fix so much. I'll be honest, that's what I was saying. No mechanic, no engineer, mechanical engineer, a ship's engineer. I don't know what engineer they need, but you'd think they would have 2 or 3 people working on this. Maybe 5 would be better. 5, number 5 would be a good number for this ship. I think we all can tell the ship is in a bad way, thank you. The question is, what are you going to do about it? We should return to port. No guarantee it will not happen again. If we don't have communications or GPS, can we even find our way back? Of course, we can still use charts, but repairing the ship is going to take time, though. I don't know if the repairs can be done before your charter ends. That is outrageous! I put in a lot of money here. And my notebook's gone. His bellow caught us off guard and June shrank back from him. This is unacceptable. If the voyage must be postponed, I demand a refund. You all need to speak to the captain. The look he gave her chilled my blood, and I wasn't even his target. Without another word, he swept towards the stairs and stomped up towards the bridge. I'd have offered silent sympathies to the captain, but honestly, I was almost as pissed as Sharif. A chilled silence settled over the room, not helped by the fact it was now freezing in here. So is the heating going to come on? I don't think I'll make it back to port before I freeze. That's true. I noticed Stefan slinking his way towards the stairs to the bridge deck. His eyes met mine and he made the silent shh to me. Aaron seemed to spot him too. He started sidling as nonchalantly as possible in his direction. Well, fella, you going to do your job and get the heating up again? Uh-oh. As pissed as Joseph had been before, I felt like he had been more a reaction to what he thought was a non-engineer screwing with the breakers, a more scolding reaction than real anger. This time though, I do not like your tone. And I don't like your work quality. Damn, son. Guys, enough. Let's not fight. We don't want to be fighting in this godforsaken, cold hell. June finally seemed to recapture some of that steel I saw yesterday when she told off Aaron and Dana. The pair of brutes squared off, even Dana straightened up and took a step toward them, raising her hands. Wait a minute, you two just calm down. She and June stepped between them, June I once again second guess how I said the word. Pronunciation please, Google. Give it to me. Placating. Yeah, placating. She and June stepped between them, June placating Joseph while Dana talked Rufus down. A tense few moments passed before Joseph gave a loud, contemptuous snort and turned storming out towards the cabin corridor. Part of me was pissed at him, but at the same time, I felt like I needed to get his side of the story. His reaction finding out I was a Sparky was very odd to me. His cryptic behavior so far made it obvious he was hiding something, and that breaker box was just a start. I didn't believe for a moment he had been sleeping. But when I turned to look toward the bridge deck stairs, I saw two pairs of paws vanishing at the top, Stefan and Aaron, no doubt. Maybe they were going to join Sharif on giving the captain a bollocking? Nah, Stefan didn't seem the type to shout at someone unless it was about cryptids or aliens or whatnot. Maybe they were going to eavesdrop. I had to admit, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in there right now. I was getting the impression Sharif wasn't being entirely honest with us either. Under construction. So, this is still not, okay. Oh yeah, we can't click on that. Follow Joseph. With a possible fight diffused, I slipped around the gathered group and made my way towards the cabins. On the bottom of the stairs, I spotted Joseph already halfway towards the engineering deck stairs. Joseph, wait! I half expected him to ignore me, but surprisingly he stopped and half-turned, glancing back curiously. I jogged up to him and he turned to fully face me. His expression was, per usual, blank and emotionless. I need to talk to you about the breakers. Joseph glanced behind me as if checking if anyone was following us before silently beckoning me. I followed, not sure where he was leading me. We went down at engineering, but this time turned right at the bottom and led me to a door on the opposite side to the engine room. I'd have expected a tool shop or some store, but it was a small cabin, Spartan and immaculately tidy. He watched me evenly and I was getting another he's trying to gauge me feel. The radio and GPS I can fix. Maybe a few hours. Everything else? He spread his hands in a hopeless gesture. That bad. Duh. Oh, the others won't be pleased about that. His look was the epitome of, and that's my problem? I did not know you were an engineer. Electrician, actually. Why does that matter? He paused again before continuing. You must know, electrical system is in shambles. Aye, don't say. A flicker crossed his face, irritation perhaps? This ship was in bad way before I came along. It was not my fault. Why did you take this job then? I did not know when I took job. I agree. Usually they just, you're in, we need you. And then, remember, this old planning here, it was immediate. It was like, what we call, okay, we're gonna be out in like a matter of, I don't know, they didn't really say a number, but a day or a week or so. Like, Sharif just had to like find a fucking captain, a ship, and whatever. His tone turned sharp and his eyes narrowed. It seemed questioning his competence was a sore spot. I would have left long ago, but... June. His words caught in his throat as though he had just come to his senses and stopped himself. I wasn't going to let him off that easy. But... He refused to meet my gaze. It had to be the first time I had seen him look genuinely uncomfortable. Joseph, I'm not looking for dirt to pass blame. I just want to know what's going on. If the Sylvia is as bad as you say it is... I realized how absurd that sounded as soon as I said it, given all that had happened. Yeah, it's bad, man. I can't believe this ship was A-OK operational by the captain. Unless the captain is a sleazy bastard. Which I totally believe, by the way. And I want your side of the story. If you take so much pride in your work, why would you stick with this shit heap? Again, he looked uncomfortable. But he seemed to be mulling it over. I decided to press my luck. You're the only engineer on a rickety old tub, and you just saw it. You got all the blame when something inevitably went wrong. Why do that to yourself? Not by choice. He finally snapped at me. He sounded wounded, offended even. I cannot tell you why, but I work here because I must. I know how bad ship is. I do my best. Duh. You think I will work on death trap willingly? Nope, not having it. You expect me to believe anyone could force you to do something? Boste, flat. Yeah, he pulled himself up to his full height, looming over me. I won't lie, my ears pinned back and my stomach did flip-flops in terror. You gotta stood your ground, but I stood my ground regardless. You think I can solve things with violence? That I just throw my weight around, get what I want? They would be told he looked like he was ready to throw my weight around. Violence does not solve things, it makes them worse. I thought he was a violent fellow. I guess judging a book is wrong, usually. He's a big man. For an engineer, he's big. He was breathing heavily and I could feel the warmth of his breath on my face. It took every effort to suppress a soft whimper of terror. Ooh. He stared down at me, struggling to get himself under control before slowly pulling back, raising his palms towards me. Sorry. I'm sorry, that was not called for. My own racing heart slowed as he turned and sank dejected to the bed. I don't know how long I stood there, paws rooted to the floor. The terror melted into concern as I watched the giant bury his face in his hands. I don't think he was crying, but he was certainly in distress. My heart fell. I was never any good at knowing what to say to comfort someone. Taking a few tentative steps toward him, my mouth opened a few times as I tried to think what to say. I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. He twitched, then slowly raised his head from his hands. Sure enough, his eyes glistened through his face, although his face was dry. I don't know what's going on, and I won't lie, I'm kind of scared too. I don't want to be stranded out here. You won't. His voice was suddenly firm. His hands rested on his knees as he gave me one of his stony stares. I will get all of you back to port. Back to port, I swear. I should stop adding an accent here. He's Russian. His voice was solemn or German. I don't know, man. He's Russian, clearly. His voice was or some Eastern, I don't know, Eastern European. His voice was solemn. It's almost sounded like he was trying to convince myself as much as me. Alright, I believe you. Truth was, I did, or at least I believe he was sincere. I understand your professional curiosity, but please do not go into engine room again. He slowly pushed himself to his feet, his enormous body groaning with fatigue. You saw yourself what a shit heap it is. But that being the case, I could give you a hand just until we get to shore. Come on, man. Part of me was genuine my desire to offer him a hand, to share the load, but as much as I felt his sincerity, I knew something was up. If I could just get another look at that breaker box. No. This time, I should have that anger slip through and he met my eyes. Promise me you will not go near engine room again, Garrett. Give me your word as a man. Damn! European, Russian man, whatever? Says as a man? Fuck, I gotta say yes. Okay, fine. Pinky promise. It's a man's word. Shake. Shake on it. Men shake, give their word, stand by their word. I'm trusting you in this, Garrett. His words were so sincere, so forceful, the kind of cheesy sentiment slipped by me. I accepted his handshake, feeling his hand grasp mine tightly. Aye, you got my word. He gave a curt nod and thought it was just a handshake. I got the feeling this was something more to him, more meaningful. Prevozhno. I fucked that. Prevozhno. Yeah, I did say that correctly the first time. Finally, for the first time, he cracked a warm smile. When we have nothing left, we have our word. Now, please go to the lounge and give my regards to June. Oh, I snapped my fingers, suddenly remembering. June had something she wanted to ask you, but you were too busy. Says her cabin door sticks. She hurt her arm this morning trying to open it. He looked surprised, but he gave me a kind look. Spasibo. I'll attend to it after I have completed repairs. This man is on the clock. He's Mr. Repairman, Mr. Fix It over here. Gotta bounce. Okay. Everyone was now present except Joseph, of course. Sheriff was standing with his arms folded like always, while the others were standing around him. Judging from the raised voices, no one was happy. We came all this way, we can't just give up now. Are you even listening to yourself? We don't have communications and even heating. Joseph will get those up and running, and failing that, we have Garrett. Despite my attempt at a discreet entrance, she spotted me. Speak of the devil, did you go and take a look at the damage? Damage? Oh, no, I went to speak with Joseph. And what did he have to say for himself? He said he was going to get us back to port. The looks I got told me that no one was reassured. And the radio? He says he can get communications back in a few hours. Could you repair it? Me? You are an electrical engineer, yes? Well, yeah, but the breaker was a mess and half the engine room is an electrical hazard. I wouldn't know where to start without Joseph's help. I'm sure Joseph could. Sheriff, Joseph got us into this mess. I am well aware, but he could at least give Garrett the necessary guidance. Joseph doesn't want me near the engine room anymore, so I doubt he'd help me. Oh shit, Sheriff be like, what is this stupidness happening here? Well, since we're gone, we've been discussing where we go from here. So we'll have a gangbang. I'm fucking kidding. I'm fucking with you, you bloody bastards. You know you want them some hot scenes to get this shit heated up. But I'm sorry, it's not that kind of game. If we go back now, we might never get another shot at this. Of course we can. We get a refund, find another ship. It's not that simple. Even if I got a full refund from the captain, some of the funds cannot be recovered. The sonar equipment, for example, there were significant costs getting it here, installing it. Look, I don't care about money. No amount of money is worth our lives, and I don't know about y'all, but I ain't looking to die out here in the Arctic. I'm right with Rufus. I'd rather be still alive. Okay? Right, if we have to call this off, I'm all for it. I'm not. We won't get another shot. Yes, we can. It'll save up more money. Jesus. Stefan, look, I get it. I'm the weirdo and everyone thinks I'm insane. I get it. But I can't be the only one who gives a shit about finding out one way or the other, right? I mean, could you all seriously say you can sleep soundly at night, not knowing? Just wonder if they're really out there, starving and cold. His anger melted as he spoke until it trailed off, as though his own imagery was getting to him. Stefan, I get it. I really do, but all it takes is another breakdown and we're fucking cooked. Like, how long would it take for us to be considered missing? You all heard June, right? Less than a minute, the water out here is enough to kill. You think it's cold now? Imagine if we need to use the lifeboats. Assuming they work, of course. I get the danger, but is everyone here really okay giving? Shut the fuck up, Dana. Shut your fucking mouth up. My god. A moment of quiet passed over us. Stefan gave her a grateful look, but she looked rather ambivalent. Answers don't mean much if we're dead too. What if we hadn't gotten the engine running again? To emphasize his point, he nodded to the window. Sea spray was running down the glass in constant streams as the ocean was whipped up by the intense winds. Alright, we need to come to a decision. Keep going or call it off. And how do you propose we do that? We vote. Yeah, this is a democracy after all. Well, yeah. A vote to stay out here in the middle of the fucking Arctic Ocean on a ship that's falling apart for 2 goddamn weeks? Is everyone here fucking high? I agree, Tabby. Is everyone here absolutely up and they're lost? Is this what they call sea madness? We've only been here for 2 days. Everyone put their money into this, not just you. We all get to say. So why not turn around, Lila? You know it. Drop off anyone who wants to quit and then continue without them. I would presume the people who decided to leave would want refunds. Each of you contributed funds to cover your own attendance on this vessel, but that was merely a small part. The majority of the funds you each provided contributed to chartering the vessel and the sonar. I cannot refund any of you without cancelling the whole voyage, which, as I also just said, could not include the entire sum you each paid. So put simply, no refunds. More accurately, either everyone gets a partial refund or no one does. And before anyone asks, chartering a new vessel would be even more expensive. I cannot speak to our financial situations, but mine is limited. Yeah, that was the most pained hit. It's like, damn, it's pretty much straight up said, I may be richer than all of y'all, but I'm not that rich. Yeah. So they put a lot of money in this, so he doesn't have enough money to now that he's not financially at that level before, you know. I don't care, I vote to go home. Her vote was completely unsurprising. Me too, it's dangerous to continue. I vote we continue. Maybe you guys can live with yourselves knowing you could have gotten answers but gave up, but Stefan, enough. I understand the arguments. Stefan, if we die, then who's gonna find our bodies next? You fucking daft bastard. We can just try again. You crazy. You. But I can't walk away from this. I'm sorry. Gale! What? Gale! You studied medicine, for God's sake. Oh my lord. Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh my days. It's, we're cooked. So this is how we die, huh? Tabby surprisingly looked more guilty than angry. She still did not meet her sister's gaze. Well, I can see Stefan's point. But I also can't see the other point, which is we might actually die here. A high chance of dying. Not a high chance of surviving the trip and finding out answers. We might be part of the fucking question after this. But risking our own lives like this is irresponsible. I mean, don't you have families to go home to? What would they think if you never came home? Stefan looked like he'd been gut punched. Tabby gave him a concerned look, but he turned away. Rufus, oblivious as per usual, didn't notice. Look, I don't think Hannah, God rest her, would be best pleased if I drowned out here just to find her. I vote we return. I agree! Oh no! I'm not happy about this goddamn boat and I fully intend to take the captain to the cleaners over this. But I came this far, so I vote we keep going. Just me and Sharif, my heart pounding in my mouth was dry. At least if Sharif could show, I abstain. Huh? You fucking abstain? Before you start screaming, let me make myself clear. I fully stand by my belief that this journey will locate the Aran, and I dearly wish to find some trace of my friend. I understand your safety concerns and I share them. I am responsible for choosing this ship and I accept my share of the blame. I brought you all out here. I will abide by your collective decision. What a pussy, man! He pretty much said, I can't. It's your decision, guys, not me. it's my responsibility, you know. No pressure, Garrett. Son of a bitch. Fucking hell, it was like a scene from my deepest, darkest nightmare. I was the center of undivided attention, and my decision was all important. My tail curled against me and I hugged myself as I lowered my gaze, praying I looked like I was thinking rather than about to throw up. Sheriff, this isn't fair. You put all the pressure on Garrett now. Yeah, that's bullshit. The kid has to make the choice for all of us. He should have. I have said my piece. I have nothing. The balls of this. Oh my god. How can you do this to Garrett, man? You're older. Hey, can I at least have a think? Well, I hate to put my pressure on you, but time is kind of the essence here. Fuck you, Dana. I absolutely hate you. No! No, it hasn't been developed. We're gonna die out here, you fucking bastards! Oh, I gotta save this, because that's a big decision, man. We can't turn back now. I think we should keep going, because I'm insane. The words left my mouth in what felt like slow motion, as if my brain was double-checking the sanity of what I was saying. Tabby is... Oh no! Oh no! We've made enemies! We've made enemies! They're gonna kill us once the sea madness takes over! In the awful silence that followed, I actually wish it started screaming and pointing fingers. At least that would have been something. Stefan and Gail looked astounded, but both gave me a smile. Gail closed her eyes and nodded in acknowledgement. Shut the fuck up, Gail. You can't be serious. Rufus. So we're decided then. Even though she got what she wanted, Dana didn't sound happy, more resigned. God damn it. Well now, so don't be mad at me, assholes, just because I was the last one to choose. Get the fuck off your high horse. Mind explaining your reasoning? Shut the fuck up, you rabbit. You Lupin son of a bitch. Even perhaps the strangest look of all, his expression was unsettling, as though he was seeing me in a new light. And I don't think he liked what he saw. My man, it was under construction, okay? It was under development, so shut the fuck up, Aaron. Look, I've made no secret that I'm not exactly here because I want to be. I'm here because I don't want to watch my mom waste away, wondering if someday Connor will walk back through the door. It's killing her. If we find nothing, then at least we tried. Well, if that's the case, how'd you reckon she'd handle if her other son died out here? You think I'm not thinking about it too? Rufus, the developers haven't developed the fucking other option yet, man. The other ending. Don't point this at Garrett, you sick bitches. I snapped. Instantly regret hit me and I rubbed the bridge of my muzzle. Sorry. I'm sorry. No one's even backing me here? Wow. Well. Everyone was like, go for it, Garrett. We should do this. And then when I say yeah, those same people that said yeah became like, oh, look at Garrett. He's getting pointed, blamed right now. Ooh. Yeah, Garrett. Why you said yes, man? We just said yeah. It's your fault. One by one, everyone filed out of the room. Stefan briefly stopped to silently comfort me by patting my shoulder, but soon only Sharif was left. I'm impressed. Shut up, you asshole. With what? You held your nerve there pretty well. It could not have been easy to go against the wishes of someone like Rufus or Tabby. You think I care about that? I rounded on him, taking a step toward him, for all the good of my tiny frame was to intimidate him. I told you, I'm doing this for Mom and no one else. He was completely unfazed by my feeble attempt at intimidating him, but he did offer a small smile, a genuine one. As you say, I will inform the captain of our decision. I would suggest you go and rest. Your day has been rather tiring, wouldn't you agree? He turned and with a spring in his step, ascended the stairs to the bridge. I hate that smug fucking face of his, man. The privacy of my cabin couldn't come soon enough. As I walked down the cabin corridor, I could hear Tabby and Gail arguing. Aaron had been standing just outside his door, murmuring with Rufus. They both stepped as I passed, watching me. I was sorely tempted to confront them, tell them to say what they wanted to say. I was of course not brave enough. Besides, I just couldn't bring myself to be around anyone right now, especially if they were pissed at me. That was when my need for a smoke hit me like a sledgehammer to the chest. God damn, did I need a smoke. There wasn't a smoke alarm in the bathroom. Great. No way was I venturing back out this room. Not tonight. Fumbling in my pockets for smoke, my hand found my packet of cigarettes, but... Fuck, where is it? Wait. My lighter? It had to be around here. It was never away from me. But with each passing moment, it became clear that my lighter was missing. You have to be fucking kidding me. I paused, trying to calm myself and think clearly. Hard enough as it was when my chest felt like pure adrenaline was pumping through my heart. I'd last smoked just before my nap, before lunchtime. I dashed for the bathroom and stopped sharply as my boots splashed something. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. The window! I'd forgotten to close it fully. The floor of my bathroom was waterlogged. Shutting the door behind me fully to prevent it escaping to the bedroom, I ran over to shut the window before turning to observe the carnage. My toothbrush and other toiletries had scattered across the floor, presumably during the storm, which was also presumably where all the water had come from. But before I tackled that, I needed to find my lighter. If not in my pockets, I'd have to have left it here. It was the last time I'd taken it out. Stefan fucking took it. He took it. He patted us in the back. He was the only one who touched us. I'm sorry, I hit the table. The knot of anxiety in my stomach turned to full-blown panic as I got down on my hands and knees to search the floor. Maybe I left it on the edge of the sink? On a shelf? I glanced up at the window and a horrifying thought struck me. No, don't be stupid. Even if I had left it on the sink or a shelf, the chances of it flying out the window during the pitching of the storm was so ridiculous even my inner voice couldn't accept it. No, I'd either dropped it somewhere or taken it out at some point and forgotten I'd placed it down. I couldn't remember doing it, but it was all I could think of. With a heavy heart, I grabbed the towels from the shelf and started mopping up the water. Grumbling under my breath, my eyes continued to dart about for the glint of my Elsorn. If it had gotten waterlogged, there was a chance it wouldn't be able to light anyway. Finally, with a pile of sopping wet towels, but a mostly dry floor, I stood. I set to righting the stuff that had spilled into the floor, ensuring I gave my toothbrush a thorough run round under the tap before putting it anywhere near my gob. As I staggered back into my room, it took everything I had left to strip to my underwear and plug my phone in before collapsing into the bed. As I crawled beneath the sheets, I realized it was chilly. For some reason, feeling angry about the state of the ship felt so distant from my mind right now. I curled the sheets around me like a cocoon. I really was exhausted. It didn't feel like I'd done very much, but the evening had really taken out of me. His emotion exhausted. As I switched off the lights, it hit me again. I'd still not found a way to contact Mom. What was she thinking right now? Was she panicking? Terrified I was lost, just like Connor? Tears welled up as I scrunched my body into fetal position, falling into my breathing. This wasn't something I could fix right now. I screamed my head, trying to drown out that fucking voice. Before I could stop myself, my hand reached over my phone. I saw the text again. The plaintive familiar tone of worry in the last one, where she was clearly trying to seem okay for my own peace of mind, but obviously was not. Her only other son on a boat in the Arctic, and now he too wasn't responding. And I'd fucked up by not taking the opportunity to turn back twice. Guilt welled up in me, pushing bile up my throat like poison. I chuckled my phone away, not caring anymore. I just needed to make this fucking voice shut up. Oh god, this man's having a panic attack. I'm getting stressed out as well. Fix it tomorrow. You can fix it tomorrow. Nothing to do now. Just shut up. That's what I always say as well. When it's already nighttime and I'm tired, I always say, I'll do this tomorrow, not now. I need to calm down. I fucking told you there's nothing to do. Why won't you let me sleep? Hey, you done having a wee cry? Fuck off. Come on, you can't stay there forever. Clyde's gone and Mom is worried. Don't care. Who the fuck is this? It's been like, being our eye guy or whatever, or inner monologue or inner voice. Soon he hauled himself up beside me in my perch, a tall wall overlooking the park near my home. Fuck me sideways, I miss being a wee skinny rake. Enjoy what you can. You won't be able to climb walls like these once you put some meat in those bones. Not my fault you're fatty. He was built like a boxer, but still it was all I could think of in the moment. Cheeky wee cunt. He nudged me but grinned, then pulled me into a headlock and pulled my ears. Connor, get off me, you fucking what? What you gonna do about it, wee man? What you gonna do about it, wee man? He continued to tug on my ears, a tease he'd done since as long as I could remember. As miserable as I was, and as much as he infuriated me, I grinned. Started to laugh even as I struggled to free myself. I thrust an elbow into his stomach, causing an oof, and forcing him to finally release me. You'll fight dirty. He pushed me away playfully and I shoved him back. Wee pup has some bite after all. Prick. And just like that, as furious and seething as I had been, it melted away, leaving us sat quietly, watching the streetlights slowly flicker to life in advancing dust. I hate him. The words burst from me like an angry sneeze. We were quiet a moment more then. I fucking hate him. I expected my brother to tease me, as was his insufferable habit. He never knew when he was taking things too far, and often I got the impression he just didn't care. Aye, he's a cunt. He spoke so matter-of-factly, giving nothing away. He actually likes you, though. Now he likes that he can't call himself my dad. He doesn't like me. He likes that I'm captain of the football team and have good marks in school. If I quit football or stop giving a fuck about my grades, it'd be a different story. Oh, by the way, that thing I found in your room. Fuck, I felt the heat rise in my cheeks and my tail curled tight against me in humiliation. So, you into guys? I just wanted to fall to the ground and disappear. Both. Oh, the lads and the lassies. Greedy wee fucker. I glanced up at him and was met with a wide 2D fucking grin, my brother did. That's why you're not into sports. Too many sweaty, huffing lads, all hot, and Connor, for the love of fuck, shut up. I was tempted, absolutely tempted, to hurl myself from the wall and pray I broke my neck. But Connor just laughed and slapped my back. I'll be sure not to invite my foodie pals over. They'll think you've died and gone to heaven. I gave a low. I'm loving his brother. I humiliated, whined, and covered my eyes. Just kidding, wee man. You know I love you. Anyway, now, he slapped his hands together. Why don't you take me home before mom starts to worry? With a heavy sigh, I nodded and we turned to start climbing back down the wall, but my heart felt a little lighter than it had done in a long time. Saturday. Slowly my eyes opened, burning from tiredness. It felt like I'd only just dropped off. It was pitch black again, but this time the room was uncomfortably warm. I peeled off my bedsheets, groaning as I swung my paws over. The radiator was on full blast. I knelt and turned it down. At least I now knew Joseph had fixed the heating. My stomach clenched as I remembered the events of yesterday. Guilt followed by anxiety over how I could stand to face a pissed-off crew for the next couple of weeks. Yup. We're all alone and we're fucked. Or at least half of them were. I was matted and damp. The heating must have been on for a while now. As much as I just wanted to drop off again, I knew the sweltering heat would keep me awake. I checked my phone, 3:11 a.m. I figured a shower wouldn't be amiss. I needed to change my bed sheets before I tried to sleep again though. Before I did though, I decided to open my bedroom porthole. I could let the excess heat out while I showered, hopefully making the room cool again before bed. I padded over to the windows and grabbed the handle and pushed, inviting a gust of frigid air inside. Gazing out, I could see... Is that land? It was hard to tell with the haze in the distance. No doubt another blizzard on the way, but there was what appeared to be a vast field of solid ice nearby. And were those mountains? Where the hell were we? I thought we'd be searching the sea floor and Sharif didn't mention checking land. Oh no, we're lost. You know what? This can wait until after I clean up. After stripping off my underwear, I turned the knob for the shower. Despite the heating being on, I wasn't taking chances this time. I placed a hand tentatively in the stream to ensure it wasn't either going to scald me or freeze me. Fortunately, it set it at a comfortable temperature and I climbed in, adjusting it down a little for a cooler wash. A long, satisfied sigh escaped my muzzle as I just stood, head leaned back, allowing the water to run over my chest. I allowed myself a smirk at the irony of needing to cool down while in the middle of the Arctic. My anxious brain was quiet for a change. The insufferable voice that was always looking for things to worry over was probably overwhelmed at the options it had right now. My smirk turned to a chuckle. I don't know why I felt in such good spirits, but I wasn't going to question it. Just as I turned the handle to shut off the water. Like a red-hot poker had been jammed to my eye, I clamped it shut, covering it with a hand. I struggled over to the sink where my toiletries bag was. I fumbled the bottle of Proxy and popped the top off, letting it fall to the floor as I squeezed one, then two drops in. Another sigh, harsher and less relaxed but no less relieved. I allowed it to do its work as I closed my eyes and leaned over the sink. Once my eye was pain-free, for now I glanced up at myself. Once again my gaze was drawn by my gaunt frame, the way my rib cage was stuck out beneath my fur. The memories of my first night here, almost naked in front of the others, made me grit my teeth. I pulled down my left eyelid to examine it. The milky cataract stared blankly back. What could anyone see in this fucking skeletal wreckage of a wolf? Bile rose up my throat. A burning coal of hatred ignited once more in my chest as I remembered the man who did this. But I was interrupted in my self-pity by a noise, muffled but unmistakably the sounds of voices. I pricked an ear, glancing toward my bedroom. Was that a shout? I padded back into my bedroom, ears still pricked and swiveling, trying to catch the voice again. Then, quiet, come with. I couldn't make out much, but I recognized the voice. Joseph's deep baritone was unmistakable. I shuffled to the door, placing an ear against it and listening intently. I could hear paw steps retreating back toward the engine room upstairs. I decided to risk it. I carefully twisted the knob, grimacing as I did my best to open my cabin door quietly. What the hell? Yeah, I was about to say, the corridor was dark again. The power in my room was on. Someone must have switched the lights off manually. My eyes had adjusted a bit in the darkness of my bedroom, just enough to spot the figures at the far end of the corridor. Unless one of the bulkheads had gotten up and started walking, one was undoubtedly Joseph. The other was much smaller, but given the glimpse I got of that long, thin tail, it had to be June. I only saw them for a moment before they disappeared down the steps to the lower deck. Told you. Dangerous. Not here. Their voices were hushed, but I could hear the tension. June sounded angry. I got the impression June and Joseph were closer than either would ever admit. It could be a late-night rendezvous, but the tone in their voices suggested otherwise. Rendezvous? Wait. We'll rendezvous here. Correct me. Did I really go? Rendezvous. Fuck me in the dick, please. Yeah, I needed to follow them. I figured I should maybe pull on my trousers at least. But if I could catch the entire conversation, I'd risk it. I padded down the corridor carefully, my eyes adjusted slowly, but even in full night vision, I could only make out the vague shapes of the other cabin doors. God, I hope nobody decided to go for a late night walk right now. Yeah, I look like a pervert. Once at the bottom of the stairs, I turned to my right. I could see the light glow from underneath Joseph's cabin door. And already I could hear Ray's voices. Promise me, no, without my say-so. I could not, if he questioned you, truthfully say you didn't know. I crept closer. This was the second time I heard June so angry after the incident at the bar with Aaron and Dana. They were obviously moving around, or at least one of them was, as their voices kept shifting in volume and how muffled they were. That's for me to scare the life out of me. Now the others are. There was an awkward pause and I chanced a few more steps closer. Continue? Are you serious? How? How should I? But now he knows and he has 2 weeks to. You saw how they all blamed. What were they talking about? He knows? 2 weeks to what? This is bad. What is happening? Did they absolutely keep this information from Sharif? Like he was kept in the dark or something? That would be stupid. I wanted to get closer here more, but I couldn't risk having them suddenly open the door, see me naked and snooping. I instead strayed put, giving me what I hope was enough distance to reach the stairs if I need to leave in a hurry. Her voice was mournful now, more subdued. She didn't seem to be moving around as much. We should have had the chance. You know why? Would understood both of our lives. My own life is already. How long is he going to? He'll never be able to without the captain, huh? Interesting. I felt my blood run cold as I hear a similar tone in his voice to when Rufus had taunted him. I'm gonna end this video right here. It's an hour and 40 in. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for clicking. I'm seeing the next hour-long episode of Polar Night and some other video game that we'll be playing. Yeah. See ya. Bye. Good luck, whatever you're doing.